Spoilers, the following video is mostly intended for humor. I nitpick, make jokes, and generally just have fun pointing out things that don't quite add up. That said, I may make a few actually valid points along the way. I'll leave it to you to decide which is which. Welcome to the channel, I'm Hayes, I'll talk movies all day, so subscribe right now if you want to be entertained. And today, I want to talk about Predator, the 1987 action sci-fi about an alien that left home to try and make his parents proud. So how this works is, I'm going to go through the movie and point out all the questionable things that I can find in Predator. So the movie starts off with some badass muscly men looking badass and muscly getting out of a helicopter, while Dutch sits in that same helicopter looking badass while smoking a cigar. Now here's what's interesting. Smoking was actually banned in American military helicopters approximately around 1988. This movie was 1987, so now I'm thinking they must have saw this film and thought, ain't nobody ever gonna look as badass as Arnie smoking a cigar in a helicopter. I mean, they probably had to make up some health and safety whatever, but come on, I think we know the real reason. Okay, let us be clear. This is the most epic of handshakes in the history of handshakes. There's been a lot of cool handshakes over the years, but none have ever been as epic as this. Here's the thing though, Dutch says my team works alone, and I guess to be fair we know what he means by that, but a team, by its very definition, cannot work alone.
Who's our backup?
No such thing, old buddy.
This is getting better by the minute.
Considering the CIA are involved, the no backup thing really shouldn't be a surprise. Plus dude was all like, my team works alone. But to be fair, this is less Dutch being surprised and more Dutch fully realizing Dylan is a snake. After suspecting there was something off about the mission, this pretty much confirms it. Now you might be thinking, well, if Dutch suspected there was something off, why agree to the mission? That's a fair question and the movie doesn't explicitly say. However, there is an implication of trust between Dutch and the general, and it seems based on that trust Dutch had already agreed to the mission before the movie started, and since they all have their orders, can't back out now. Anyway, I don't care. I would have slapped Blaine for spitting on my boot. And yeah, Blaine would have put me in a body breaker and I'd probably never walk again afterwards, but some things a man just can't allow. Also,
Bunch of slap-jawed around here.
This film could not be made today. So I ain't no helicopter wreckage climbing expert or nothing, but grappling directly onto a helicopter dangling in a tree seems like a terrible idea. Didn't some damn fool accuse them of being the best? So this might seem trivial, but some vines are relatively safe to drink from and others are not. Generally speaking, if the water flows freely out the vine like it does, it's probably safe. That said, it's relatively safe to drink. There can still be microorganisms in the water and they can still make you very ill, so you probably shouldn't. Also, it's right about now the only correct answer is pack your bags and go home. Granted, at this point they don't know it's an alien, but anybody or anything that can do this to free men? Nope. This movie should have been like 17 minutes, max.
You're ghosting us, motherfucker.
This is the second time Dylan's gotten chiefed. Can't lie, this time man deserved it. He's CIA. Man should have known better. I'm pretty sure this bit right here was the inspiration behind Metal Gear Solid. I mean, this guy really didn't hear anything, and by the time he finally sees the truck moving, dude didn't see Dutch just standing there? Really? Also, this guy who saw the truck moving first and this guy who tried to stop the truck are not the same person. So what happened to this guy? Where is he and why has he still not seen Dutch? Also, far be it from me to tell anybody how to do their job, but this is, or at least it's under the guise of being a rescue mission on the wrong side of the border with no backup and CIA involvement, which would mean the US government would need to have plausible deniability, and that would mean stealth, no explosions, no dead bodies, and no evidence of being there. Now don't get me wrong, I'm glad they went balls out because this is one of the best action scenes in movie history. I'm just saying, some damn fool accused them of being the best. Also, it seems a bit odd that this large man would take cover behind this skinny pole, but considering no one spotted him earlier, this actually makes sense.
Yeah. Stick around.
This is the greatest movie ever made. Not even joking right now. Dutch had no reason not to kill Anna.
The only way out of here is that valley that leads to the east. I wouldn't wish that on a broke dick dog.
That's actually a mad line. I mean, what's the significance of the broken dick? Would you wish it on a dog with a healthy dick? I would hope nobody's wishing anything bad on dogs regardless of their penile situation. It would just be nice to know why the state of a dog's penis is relevant in this scenario. Also, you probably already know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor of California from 2003 to 2011, and that Jesse Ventura was mayor of Brooklyn Park from 1991 to 1995, and governor of Minnesota from 1999 to 2003. But you might not know that Sonny Landham ran for governor of Kentucky in 2003 as a Republican, however, didn't get the party's nomination. He then ran as an independent, but ended up withdrawing. In 2004, he tried for the state Senate district of Kentucky, but wasn't elected. And in 2008, tried for the US Senate as a Libertarian, but they withdrew his nomination after he made a series of comments calling for the genocide of Arabs. This coming from a Native American. Now, what we learn from all this is, when someone makes ambiguous statements about dog dicks, bullshit and hypocrisy should be expected. That's the first nice thing anyone has done for Dylan, and if you notice, it came after Dylan stood up to Dutch. Moral of the story? Stop taking shit and you'll stop getting shit.
Message!
She said, why did you say that twice? I said I didn't.
The first time I saw this movie, I was about 10 years old, which is 8 years younger than the movie's age rating. A lot of people think that a film gets rated 18 because of the violence and things like that, but the truth is, it's because at 10 years old, you're not gonna get this joke. And if you did get this joke at 10 years old, I ain't gonna lie to you, you might need counseling. Now, why is Dutch giving a signal to pursue Anna? It wasn't that long ago he told Dylan she's his baggage. Let her run. It's basically Dutch's fault Hawkins is dead. Also, apparently Dutch can whistle without moving his lips. Honestly, if I'm ever firing an automatic weapon at an unknown target and my friends don't just start firing their automatic weapons without asking what I'm shooting at, I don't want them as friends. You don't need to know what I'm shooting at. If you're my friend, just start shooting as well. That's how it's supposed to be. Especially when some damn fool accused you of being the best.
He was a good soldier.
He was, my friend.
In the 80s, this is what we called opening up and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. We're about halfway through the movie and this is the first time we actually see the Predator. First we saw the spaceship, then we saw the thermal vision, then we saw the camouflage, and now we finally see the Predator. It's a staged reveal to try and build anticipation, and it works. Here's the thing though, I swear some of these tools don't look like they were designed well for somebody with claw fingers. And is that a zip? I actually don't like that they laughed at Mac for killing the pig for a couple of reasons. First of all, his best friend just got killed, so it's super insensitive. And B, what else was he supposed to do? They're being hunted, Jim Hopper and his men have been killed, 2 men from their team are already dead, and now an unknown entity enters their camp. Of course he's gonna kill it. Ain't taking no chances at this point.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
This is the best line in the movie. But at this point, they figured out that they're being hunted and killed one by one. Dutch says they have to make a stand now or no one is getting to the chopper. Wrong. Dylan said the rendezvous is 10 to 12 miles away. Now, I ain't no highly trained special ops military soldier guy, but I can walk 12 miles in less than 5 hours. Now, these guys can probably walk a lot faster than me, but they do have a lot of heavy equipment to carry, so let's say 12 miles will take them about 5 hours as well. So really, all they gotta do is keep moving. Don't stop for nothing, just keep moving. Now, I ain't saying they all gonna make it, they all will not, but considering the current rates at which Predator is killing them, I think most of them would probably get to that chopper. Dylan was right on this one. This bit is for the ladies, but let's be honest, the fellas like it too. Predator screams like a bitch. Also, Poncho getting injured is on Dutch. Should've went to the rendezvous like Dylan said. Furthermore, dude couldn't even stick to his own plan and stay put. But, you know, some damn fool accused him of being the best.
Don't! Leave it! He didn't kill you because you weren't armed.
So if you know that, why are you still carrying your weapons? Actually, to be fair, even if they did drop all their weapons, Dutch still has those 2 big guns on either side, so anyway, they basically just killed off all 3 non-whites of the group in a row. But honestly, I ain't mad at it. This was at a time when the black guy dies first was a pretty common trope in Hollywood movies, so the fact that all 3 of them lasted more than half the film is pretty impressive. And they all got cool death scenes. Well, actually, Dylan got a cool death scene. Can't lie, Mac got Daffy ducked. Not even Donald ducked, man got Daffy ducked. And Billy wasn't even on screen. Dude just stood on that log, cut his chest open like we're about to witness an epic showdown, and we just hear him screaming like somebody trod on his toe. Matter of fact, maybe there was something in that vine water he was drinking earlier, cause this was straight up delusional. Also, Blaine got shot and got his back blown out. Dylan got shot and got turned into a left-handed. Dutch got shot clean in the shoulder and just gets a little boo-boo. Come on now, come on. But to be fair, it is at this point Predator needs to pack his bags and go home. Cause 268 years prior, Predator's great-great-great-great-granddaddy couldn't even beat a 16-year-old girl. There's no way you're beating Dutch. Man just took a straight shot to the arm and got up like he just tripped on a twig. Nah, Predator needs to pack his bags and go home. Matter of fact, speaking of 268 years, Predators have been coming to Earth for at least 268 years, and not once did they think to upgrade their invisibility cloak. Actually, to be fair, time moves differently through space and changing gravitational pulls, so it could be that 200 years Earth time is maybe only 2 days on Predator planet. Anyway, so when Dutch slides down the mud and falls into the lake, he doesn't actually fall with enough momentum to reach the lake. There is nothing but land underneath. Dutch died in this scene. This is pretty badass, for real. He basically just out-Rambo'd Rambo. Dude had a clear chance to take out Dutch and instead goes for the soft scare. And I don't want to hear this, oh but Dutch wasn't unarmed. So, he's clearly a threat regardless. Furthermore, why is Predator Man taking off his helmet and weapons like he wants to go hand to hand? Dude's been sneaking around in stealth mode this whole movie and now you want a fair fight? Furthermore, it's not even a fair fight. On one hand, you have Dutch, that's some damn fool accused of being the best, and on the other you have a super advanced alien species that can't even beat up a 16-year-old girl. Keep the weapons, bro, for your own good. So Predator is smart enough to not walk into one trap, but dumb enough to walk straight into another. Here's the thing though, what exactly was the first trap? Because if that tripstick was attached to the boulder that fell on Predator's head, then what were the spikes attached to? Had Predator walked in and tripped the stick himself, then that boulder would have just fallen on the ground, and the spikes would have, what, just stayed where they are? So what exactly was Dutch's plan by calling the Predator, come on and kill me? Or did he just get lucky? I guess it's only fair that Dutch spears Predator after Predator spears Dutch, but still, bad idea. Also, considering the way Predator sees things and the fact that he just took a massive knock to the head, I'm not sure he knows what he's pressing right now. He was probably trying to call his wife to tell her goodbye and accidentally blew himself up. I mean, he might have accidentally did himself a favor, but anyway, the movie ends with Dutch being rescued, and we also find out that after being blown up, Predators actually transform into helicopter pilots. But that's what I think of Predator. What do you think of Predator? Let me know down below, and while you're there, be sure to like, subscribe, and drop a suggestion if you don't mind.